Hello everyone, once again back to my new episode of Hero Podcast. In this podcast, we have Nishu Khanna with us. So before starting, let me introduce about Nishu. So Nishu has started her journey as an entrepreneur at a very young age of 22. Now she's a mother of a daughter. Also, she's running her own business and work with more than 500 plus Fortune companies. Apart from that, she's a fashionista, fitness freak, and a good motivator. If I sum up all this, so we can call her as a stylish woman. So hi Nishu, how are you? Welcome to my new podcast.
I'm good, Shubham, and thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction.
Yeah, thanks. So how are you feeling? Are you excited for this podcast?
Definitely, I would like to take this forward.
Yeah, so let's get started. So my first question, as generally I speak to people, the first question is all about how it all started. What made you think to start your own venture at a very young age of 22? That means, at that time we don't think like this way, right? And as a
Right.
woman, you pursue your things in a, starting your own venture. So that is something, which is very, really something great. So yeah, over to you.
Okay, fine, Shubham. So how it all started, as you said. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to do something of my own. Perhaps, entrepreneurship was in my blood. My father was into business of car accessories, but I wanted to do something of my own, something different since beginning. So, when I was a teenager, I used to share this dream of mine with my cousins and my friends. And, that point of time, I used to only get criticism. And, I was the, topic of fun for them that being a girl, I am way too ambitious. And, basically clueless कि life में करना क्या है. And I remember some of my cousins, making fun of me in the sense, हाँ business करेगी, हाँ गाड़ी चलाएगी, because सारे शौक boys वाले थे. And one of my cousin also used to call me सेठ जी, कि हाँ सेठ है ये तो shop पे बैठेगी and all that. So how it started? So I completed my graduation and I enrolled for MBA. Mm-hmm. And parallelly, I started working as a recruiter in an HR firm. So my first job was a very highly paid job. I started at a salary of 4,500. So you're just taking it in laughter. Yeah, but then, salary was never a thing for me. I wanted to gain experience. So at an age where, my friends were busy sorting out their relationship problems, girlfriend, boyfriend ka issue, yeah. I was basically trying to build myself, build a career for myself. So I worked for, 1 year and a half in that company. And I excelled at my work because I was focused. I was, even more successful than my manager. And that is where it all started. I tasted office politics and jealousy because my manager was trying to overpower me. And that's where I started to looking out for a change. And I received an offer from a very big IT company. But then again, as I said, that there was a basic instinct from the beginning that I want to get into business. So that entrepreneur spirit took over again. And I felt that, it is the time that I should take that next step. And that's how I started my recruitment firm called Next Step Solutions. Okay. So the most important part here was that, my father believed in me. The day I told him that I want to get into my own business, please call a CA so that I can start the paperwork. The next day, the CA was sitting at my home and I was doing that paperwork. So that's how it got started. And if I talk further, within a month of getting started with my business, I got engaged to my best friend. And my courtship period was also amazing because I was only working. I was so focused into my business that I didn't have time even for my wedding preparations. And there was a time when actually my husband started feeling कि सही लड़की तो choose करिए अपने के लिए कि नहीं. And my mother used to feel. I remember, my mother telling me कि ये लड़की के पास तो खाने का भी time नहीं है. सुबह morning 8 o'clock, रात को 8 to 10. She is only involved. So as I said, I started alone. It was a one-woman show. I'll not say a one-man show. Yeah. I was involved, pitching in clients and even servicing them. So definitely, it was a small start, but yes, I did started like that.
Yeah, so and, that's a wonderful story. You have, give a good story of glimpse. Okay, even I can feel like from a very young age only you were such an ambitious girl. I can imagine like when I'm just thinking about you the way you told me. So like this way, right? So आप पहले से बचपन से ambitious थे, हाँ?
Yeah. So since teenage, when people used to, बच्चों से पूछते हैं ना आप क्या करोगे, तो I used to say मैं business करूँगी, क्या करूँगी ये नहीं पता, but business करूँगी. So I was like that. Yeah.
That's really great, and that's a wonderful story. Like people who just started like as a woman, like they all just want to join the corporate ladder, and even still, like if I talk about in today's time, as you mentioned about you have just leave all those part of boyfriend and girlfriend and just focus on your career. And if we see about today's time as well, they are the people who are more into relationship. They are not focusing
Yeah.
on their career. So you have to sacrifice some things to to join at the top of the ladder. So that's a wonderful story you have explained. Now my next question to you, Nishu, like in life, okay, so during this journey, okay, have you ever feel some kind of low in your life? Because we all are a human being, okay, when we work, so we felt like a very low in our life कि ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं, now at this point we cannot do anything and we are just looking for a hope कि हाँ यार अब नहीं होगा, ठीक है. So that kind of situation has ever happened to you and you came across this kind of situation? You can let us know. Yeah.
See, high and lows are the part of your life, and it is faced by everyone goes through something, it's a roller coaster journey, and my life has also been a roller coaster ride. So if you ask me, if I continue to that, the story that I was talking about, yes, I expanded my business after my marriage. Everything was good. I used to set small targets for myself, like buying a car, then buying a house. I bought my first house at a very young age of 26. Everything was really well. But the moment I stepped into my house, after a couple of weeks, there was a drive going into Delhi of ceiling drive, and I went to the office, and right in front of my eyes, my office got sealed. My effort of good 4-5 years all went in vain, and my team was right there in front of me. Obviously I couldn't cry because I am the boss. How can I cry? And immediately after that, I went to my mom's home and I cried like my heart out as to Mama, all my efforts got into vain. But then I did not give up. I restarted. I called my team to my home. We worked from my home for a month, and then I restarted in Noida, started another office. And that's how, the life is continuously going on. After that, again, the moment things were smooth, we faced this recession hit really hard in 2007, 2008, and that my business was into recruitment industry. The companies were literally firing around that point of time, instead of hiring. So definitely I was at my rock bottom, and during the same period of time I was expecting my child, and it was very difficult for me. So it was, there was a situation when I was just managing my life. So definitely struggle has been a part of my life. Again, during COVID, every business has been hit so hard. So has been mine. So all these things, actually took on my health also, whether it's physical or whether it's mental. So taking care into account your family, your child, your business, every responsibility on your head, it actually took a toll on my health, and I literally went into depression. So there was a phase in my life, when I was totally suicidal, and I was literally told by my doctor that I'm into severe clinical depression. I was put on medication, and when you are into severe depression and medication, the medication also have several side effects. So I gained so much of weight. I was not into my own zone. I lost my self-confidence. So, and definitely, it was a very difficult phase of my life. But that is where, one fine day I thought, what the hell, what kind of life am I living? And I don't want to be into, medication throughout my life. And that is where
So how did you overcome from that? Like you have been, as you mentioned, like you are in a lot of time, you were in a struggle in your, sometimes you face a recession, sometimes you face the, lockdown situation, and also you got, so much overweight. So in those kind of situation, what makes or what gives you a strength to, come back again and just to, कि हाँ फिर से वापसी करते हैं, just again live a life. So I just want to understand, like, because there's a lot of people, who got into a trauma and depression. For them, life, is all about to end, right? But you are a perfect example for them. Like you have been through with this type of, problem and came across from this problem. So what gives you that strength, or क्या ऐसा आपकी thinking रही कि जो you can tell us कि हाँ that gives you the strength here?
See, I believe, definitely medicines are there to help, but then it is you and only you who can, take you out yourself from such kind of a thing. So it has to be a self belief. Unless and until it comes from within, you cannot do it. So as I said, one fine day I was actually thinking about it, that what kind of life I am living. I've gained so much of weight and I'm literally losing myself. And then I started taking control on myself. I started with the fitness regime. At the age of 39, I learned cycling, so that something new to kick in. I learned cycling. I started with that. Then I started walking. I started gym. I focused on healthy eating. So all these things helped me gaining my confidence back. And yes, there is no stopping. Since then I'm continuously focusing on myself. See, over a period of time I realized that I was doing everything. I was taking care of my family, I was taking care of my business, I was taking care of my child, but at the end of the day I was losing myself because I was not working on me. And that is what took it on me. So basically I started working on myself, and self-belief and self-love is something which I
like a kind of optimistic thinking, and that's what take you out from this mental trauma. And now you have running again back to life and running successfully your business and all.
I'm very happy now. I'm focusing on myself. I know my limits, I know my worth, and I will not let anyone take advantage of me.
That's really interesting. That's really interesting. And I think there's a lot of audience who are listening to this podcast. They're definitely going to get an understanding. Like sometimes in life
you
have to,
I have reversed my age after 40.
sometimes we go down, sometimes we go up. That's a part of life, but never say give up. That's what the we learn from our life. Okay, so now moving to my next question, issue. So my next question is something which I want to ask you. Okay, because I know you since last 6 months. Okay, so what exactly the secret of your beauty? Why am I asking this question? Because the reason being is I still remember when I'm having a call with you and you helped me in my interviews. At that time I got your WhatsApp number. Okay, so when I saw your picture, so it seems like a girl around 28 and 29. And to be very honest, I'm not doing I'm not right now being a flirtatious or something like that way. To be very honest, that's what I seems. Okay, and then I called you even, and I said, okay, you help me and I'll take you out for a coffee. You remember that thing, right? And you said, okay, Shubham. And you said, okay, Shubham, definitely we need to go on a coffee. And then after then, I asked you about your Insta. Then I started following you on Insta. And then I got to know, okay, you are a mother of a daughter. And then I was totally surprised. Oh my God, how was that happened? So that really makes me surprised, and that even can make anyone surprised, just because of at this age and maintaining yourself. So that's what my question is. So moving to you, what exactly the secret of your beauty that can make mystery for the young age guys here?
Sure. So first of all, I would like to say that beauty lies in the eyes of beholder, and I just carry myself well. So, so basically, I do nothing major. It is just that I eat healthy. I focus on my fitness. I do walk every day for 1.5 hours. I go to gym for one hour, and definitely I do follow some beauty regime. Daily, morning and evening. That's all. And focusing on myself. And yes, the most important thing, I keep myself positive, and I think that is the most important secret of looking good. Have to be beautiful from inside.
Yeah, and that is something, which makes the young boys to be confused of very much. Your
And
this.
I believe I'm still young.
Yeah, so that's something, that's something which all can learn from you, to at this age as well, maintaining themselves, and making themselves at, you know what I would say. I don't have any word to compliment to you right now. What we call that, stylish, we can say, or like, yeah. So you can say a stylish word from my side as
Oh,
a
yes.
compliment. Okay.
I am stylish. I'm working hard on it. And I'll
Yeah.
continue to do the same.
Yeah, yeah. And so now moving to my next question. Okay, so like, I've seen you, like, you are driving some car, but I just forget, like, I just want to ask you, like, which car you drive.
Okay. And where have you seen me?
Actually, to be very honest, one time I was just seeing your status on WhatsApp, so I
Amazing.
just thought, like, I'll ask you. Yeah.
Sure. I drive Audi.
Okay.
Audi is. Yeah.
Or it is the car. So how does it feel, like, being as a woman and being as an independent woman driving a car? Because that is something a lot of women, they want, to be very independent with themselves, and they
Yeah.
don't want to depend on others, right? So, like, what exactly the mentality are, like, some of the women thinks that they will depend on their husband, but still, like, being as a woman, you are totally dependent on yourself and driving Audi. So how does it feel? Just want to ask you.
It definitely feel great. And
Yeah.
as I said, since beginning I had all the desires of what a man has.
Yeah.
And from very beginning, while the moment I turned 18, definitely I asked my father that I need a car. So
Mhm.
definitely I was driving his car initially.
I see.
And later, my first dream was to buy my own car. So as I said, I used to set small targets. So when I was getting married, I thought of having my own car and basically sponsoring my own car. So I
Okay.
bought my first car at the age of 23, and that one day before my marriage, I got that car, and I was now if I go back and look, it was an achievement, and obviously I kept on. Adding it to more luxuries. I
Mhm.
always had in mind that I want to buy Audi one day, and around 6 years back I bought my first Audi. And with all my efforts, definitely, and hard work and support of my family, I would say. So
Yeah.
yes, it's a wonderful feeling. Being independent is very important, and that's an
Exactly.
advice also I would like to give it to every female, that person should be independent, both physically and financially.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And now moving to my next question, issue. So, like, we talk about, the work-life balance. Okay, so, like, there are people who get confused about their professional and personal work-life balance. So how do you maintain your, professional personal work-life balance, and what exactly you think or you want to give to others as your experience? Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, as I said, that I was also struggling in my life. I was only doing work, 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 and this led me to depression. And that is where I realized that I'm missing out the fun factor and socializing part in my life. And so that is where I started, meeting my friends again. I do go out for parties. If you're following me on Insta, you must be seeing that every weekend I am partying.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that I
meet my
see.
friends. I go for reunion. I spend quality time with different people. I meet people, that helps in exchanging our experiences also, and that helps in giving a better perspective of life. You see, I am into business, and that too professional business. So people
Exactly.
expect she's a 41-year-old woman. She should carry herself in a way कि भाई business woman है, एक professional लगना चाहिए and all that.
Exactly.
That's my professional life. I am very professional in my career, but when it comes to my personal life, I am a happy-go-lucky person. When this pandemic started, I got a lot of time, and then I started making TikTok videos. I started getting active on Insta. I started,
Yeah.
getting the taste of these reels on Insta, and
Yeah.
I was one of the best actress of my school. During the school time, I
I
was too
see.
much involved in
I
dramatics,
see.
and that's where reliving my dramatics and acting dream on Insta. So if you follow me on Insta, I'm a totally different person. People can't imagine that she's
That
a
is
serious
something,
business.
that is something which is a really, interesting fact you have told. me about yourself. Like you do, drama and all, and you were a very good actress as well during your school times. And I also love to act. So maybe if we get a time, so we'll make a duet with you.
Acting and wonderful acting.
I'll definitely make a duet with you if I get a time after this.
Definitely, I
Okay.
was about to say that. Let's do that.
Yeah. So actually, you have mentioned very good point. Like the people, in today's time, they take their personal and professional life like more, not more a difference. They just create both at the same level, right? Like if I've seen, in my side as well, there are a lot of project managers, right? So they are very very much professional with their teams. They are not, if you talk them, so that in that case as well, you looks like okay, ये बहुत ज़्यादा ही मतलब एक वो होता है ना कि that we can say a kind of, you are not very truly person as you are, right? You are just thinking कि वो क्या सोचेगा, ये क्या सोचेगा. So that is the thinking, which always comes up in other person mind. And to be very honest, if you know about me as well, and the way I talk to anyone, and the way I've just started my podcast as well, so I don't give a shit whoever the other person thinks. If I like to do act, if I like to do going exercises, and how I manage my team in my meetings as well, I have my own, style. I have my own, persona, I would say. Okay, everyone has their own attitude, everyone has their own style. Like Shah Rukh Khan has their own way of, romance. Ranveer Singh has their own way of, style and personality. So it's our own personality, so we don't need to give up our personality rather than being in a professional project manager, business analyst, or whoever you are. You become a, top business head as well. But what you like and what you are in a person, we should follow that. That's what we call a truly person. So that's a wonderful point. So do you want to add something on this as well, Nishu, on your point, like to the audience or who are working in the professional, like how they can, manage or maintain work-life balance? Yeah, if there is anything.
There has to be balance. There has to be balance in personal and professional life. You should be professional at your work, but then you should also be focusing on your life. You need to
Exactly.
live your dreams, because if you're not happy from within, you cannot keep anyone else happy. And there would be always be people who will judge you. If you'll keep on looking at those people who are judging you, and you stop living your dream because of them, you can never be happy. And as I just said, that if you are not happy, you cannot keep anyone happy, and people will not see you as a happy person. So I have learned it hard way. And that is, I'm a very grounded person. I learn with my experiences. And yes, I do give laughter dose to my friends. My friends do give me a call when they are upset, and I am their laughter dose basically. So I believe in keeping
And that's
a
how
balance.
that's how life goes on. That's how life goes
Yes.
on. Yeah. So sometimes you have to laugh, sometimes you have to work, and sometimes things doesn't go as well. So in that case, you have to be mentally prepare yourself. So that's a wonderful thing. Now moving to my next question. So it's all about we are about to conclude the video. So what exactly the piece of advice you want to give to the women, or like the women who is having their own children, how they can manage their things, and the ladies who are a bit ambitious, or the young girls who are a bit ambitious to work in a professional life. So whatever things in your so far journey, what you have learned so far, so you can give your point of view, or your point of advice. Yeah.
See, basically, everyone will stay focused, work hard. This is something I will not say, because everyone says that. First thing I would like to say is believe in yourself. Self-belief is the main thing. If you don't believe in yourself, don't expect anyone else to believe in you, right? So that's the first piece of advice, is you should know your worth. Self-love is something which is very important. As I said, I've learned it hard way, but yes, I've learned it now. Second, I would definitely like to add, everybody has wings to fly. You have the power. So basically follow your dreams, and work towards it. And as far as as you said, that piece of advice to all the mothers, yes, motherhood has been even difficult for me. There has been its own challenges, especially being into business. You don't get leaves. You actually don't get leaves, because you are working 24/7. I did not have that maternity leave concept for me. Though I'm running a business, I do give it to others, but then yes, I was working throughout my pregnancy. But again, it is your you have to decide your priorities in life, what is more important to you and what is not. There would always be people who will have multiple expectations from you. As a woman, we are expected to live as per the expectations of other. If it's a single woman, the parents expect कि time पे घर आए. If it's a married woman, so is expected from their families, and come and take care of their home and their they're fine. We as a woman can do that. We are a multitaskers, and God has given us the power to decide the priorities. But again, as I said, in the process, do not forget yourself. That is the piece of advice I would like to do. Everything, yes, you are responsible, you are a multitasker, you can do it, believe in yourself, but don't forget yourself. Keep yourself.
That's a wonderful advice you have given. So now we are just concluding the video. Any last thing you want to say about this podcast? Nishu, how does it feel like having a call with me on this podcast? Do you want to say something about this Hero podcast, which I've just started? Anything to the audience? Yeah.
So it's a wonderful experience. Yes, sharing my life story is a wonderful experience. I hope I can inspire people, and they take me as an example and do something in their life. And yes, I would like to add, Shubham, our coffee is still pending. Age doesn't matter. 40-year wala bhi coffee pee sakta hai.
Sure. that's we'll definitely going on a coffee. Okay, for sure. So guys, now we are concluding the video, and I hope you all get some kind of piece of advice. Being as a young person, you can learn how the thing goes in industry, and you can see like how Nishu has just started her career. Now she's a a business owner and struggle a lot in her life. So that's all. Stay smart, stay wonderful, and stay tuned. Bye.
Thank you.